Hey Luffy, how's it going, dude? Hey Tim. I am struggling, you guys. We'll get into it here. Hey you guys, how you doing? My name's Michael. Welcome back to the stream. I hope you're doing well so far today. I am. So for those that don't know, I have an interview tomorrow for a software engineer chemist position. It's a live coding interview, live coding round. I've already passed a screening and a take home, and so I am. But guys, I just am. Like I try to be as honest and transparent as I can with you guys. I'm just really nervous. I'm really struggling. Like my body is just like I just feel like weak. I just like on the nerve, like the my cortisol levels are just through the roof. I can just feel it, and I'm losing focus. Like I can't really. I'm having a hard time remembering just basic things, like basic looping. Like I'm just. I'm just really like going through it, you guys. I just got off the phone with my mom. Like I had to call her. I was like, dude, I'm struggling. Like I can't. Like I'm at work. I can't focus at work. I'm just. Ever since I found out that this was this day, or tomorrow, I mean, I knew it was on Thursday, but ever since I scheduled it, I've just been wrecked. I know I don't exercise at all. Like I need to. I was thinking about maybe just going to my little apartment gym and busting out some like crunches or something, or getting on the bike maybe, and just trying to, I don't know, like that's something I do. Hey Tim, so while I have you here, I wanted to solve the threesome problem. So I was thinking about it and doing some like research on it and some techniques, and I think I've got it. Right? So this is my idea. Right? So I initially thought that we were returning the indices, so we had it maintain order, but that is not true. So I'm actually supposed to be returning the values, which makes this a lot easier. Not easier, but I was able to kind of figure it out once I made that realization. I didn't read the problem as closely as I should have. My bad. So that means that we can sort this array, right? So if we sort this array, oh, sorry, we have a couple more values here I missed. Right? So we have this array here of values sorted. Okay, so we know there's a couple of things right off the bat that make pretty clear sense is that once we come past this threshold, we're going to break. Like we can short circuit our loop because we don't need to check values greater than 0 because there is no values that will add together in this sorted fashion that will satisfy this condition, right? So we would need to check all the values up to including 0, right? Now let me preface, for our anchor of I, right? Our I is going to be our anchor point, which is going to represent like the previous scene value we computed in the two-sum problem within our dictionary or whatnot. So now let's try to work through the logic here of this. Okay, so distinct. Okay, so we need to, let's take n is equal to the length of our numbers list, right? We're going to iterate over this numbers list with a length, over the length, right? But, so like we're gonna say for I in range of n, right? So the thing is I don't want to land on duplicates. And so because this is in sorted order, if you look on here, we have a case here of -1 and -1. So I need to have some sort of logic that will realize that when two values next to each other are adjacent, or sorry, two values that are adjacent to one another, right? That are the same value, right? And if that happens, I need to move on, right? Now, I need to move on, and why do I want to move on? I need to take this -1. Because if I take this -1, then... No, wait. We want to take... maybe not. We want to take the first... Okay, so if we say, if, right, the thing is I think we need to have an anchor point as our first value. So if I is less than 1 and if num's index of I equal to num's index of I less than 1. Right, so what this is going to do is we have I here, which is going to that is less than 1. Do I want I to be less than 1 here? Because we have I that is here. If I is less than 1, I starts out here. We want to continue and find a valid starting point to compute from. So maybe it's I less than 0, but what would that entail if I less than 0? So if I is less than 1, Tim, does I have to be less than 1 here? Does I have to be less than 1 here, Mr. Tim? It's less than 1. No. If I oh no, so this is to handle our left and right approaches. So if I is greater than 0, my girlfriend. I need to check my girlfriend text me. She's telling me that guys, there's a yogurt land. Today's the day. Buy one get one free. June 25th at Yogurt Land. Get your Yogurt Land. Gotta charge my phone. I'm about to die. Okay, so we want to continually, this is going to move I forward, right? This is going to move I forward if I is greater than 0, right? So that every time I is greater than 0, we're going to check, right, for this value, right? But on the first initial 0, we don't want to check, we don't want to because we can't do this, we'll get an index error. So I think that this is fine. Okay, so then what do we want to do here? Well, if this is true, meaning that these are the same numbers, then we want to continue and keep moving I forward, until we find a valid point to anchor, and then do a two-sum basically from there. Okay, so then I'm going to call our left is equal to nums of index I left is equal to no. Continue, right? So then if now that we've found a starting point, so this is where we're going to be. It's going to move, so this is going to be left, it's going to move forward, so this is going to be true. Then we need to also evaluate at this place here, right? So this is where I is going to anchor at the very start, because this is satisfied. I is greater than, this is not satisfied, right? So we're going to be at 0. So then we need to say while so we have to say while, so let's say that while I plus 1 So we say, what if, say left is equal to I plus 1, while left and right is equal to Hey Austin, how's it going, dude? So then we want to say, wow. What do we want to say here? We need to move our left and right pointers forward. While left is equal to right, but we also need to make sure that left stays less than right. So while left is less than right. Hey Eduardo, welcome in, dude. And while left is equal to right. Set nums well, left is less than right and left is equal to right. I plus 1, right is equal to, so we need to, might need a lifeline here, Tim. Okay, so let's figure this out. -4, -1, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I is going to be here on the -4. Okay. So this needs to say like while left is less than n, right? We don't want to be indexing into n, right? If, so this is going to say and left is equal to right. We're going to move forward. We need to move left forward. No, and nums index of left, nums index of right, right. We want to continually move left and right forward. We want to continue to move left and right forward, right? In order to, we want to move left and right forward in order to, so this is left, this is right. Do I want to, well, if L and R are equal to one another. So let me just say this. If nums index left is equal to nums index of right, and what do we want to do? Right? We want to move right forward. So should we handle the right pointer first, the leader, rather than the left pointer, or should we we say, or we could leapfrog. We could put our left pointer onto the 0 now, like by saying is. So this is left plus 1. So if I say so I have my left pointer on -1, my right pointer on -1. These two values are the same, right? So we need to move the left and right pointer forward. But can I set left equal to R plus and move R forward? So if R ever becomes, so if I ever becomes greater than break. If num's index left equals to num's index right, then we want to set left equal to R plus 1. L is equal to R plus right plus 1. Right, we move left, we leapfrog left forward. We set and then we reset our left pointer to equal. No, do we just move R forward? So if it's a number, let's just move R forward. So this would say while so the thing is oh my gosh. With the two-sum problem at hand. Okay, so it's just two-sum, right? So we say, okay, we're left with two-sum at hand here. But we need to, while left is less than n, and I'll evaluate all of them, those. Let's say, so we have left equals and right equals. Wow. Right. So we need to find a value while right, while num's index of left is equal to num's index of right. So while right is less than n and num's index left is equal to num's index of right, continually move forward if, so while they're equal to each other, let's say right plus equal 1, left plus equal 1. Okay, so that'll move those forward, and so now they're not equal to one another. But that way, we already handled that. So then we'll say if num's index of I plus num's index of left plus num's index of right is equal to 0, we're going to go ahead and return, we're going to result is equal to an array where we're going to have num's index of, res.append num's index of left, num's index of right. If it's so while right is less than n, if num's okay. I don't want to. I need to check. What do you guys think? What can we improve? I'm stuck here-ish. We don't have really that much time today. We have to really keep moving here, boys. We have interview coming up. Huh. So maybe I should handle these separately because triple is found while left is less than right. We're gonna skip left to increase all. Okay, so left and right. And this gets hit, so this is while left is less than right. That's going to increase, okay, the breaks. That's not less than right. So then right goes. If right is equal. Nah, I don't know what to do here. I don't want to just cheat. I want to learn it, but that thing out of here. That thing out of here. Given a string S, only digits. Given a string S, only digits for sure. Okay, so I'm going to, let's do this. We need some more tailored stuff here, so I'm just gonna do, I don't want to do that. Whatever. I'll just, okay, so let's say, give me, okay, so I'll say I have my tomorrow for stream, and I need some practice problems for my live coding interview. Can you give me the top 5 problems you think I could see in this style? Okay, so this isn't like a leak code problem. I already know it is. But it keeps giving me this one, so we might get hit with this. We might be prepared for it. Okay, so you're given a matrix list. Right? You're given a 2D matrix list of lists, representing integers, scientific data from a plate reader. Transpose the matrix, swap rows and columns, then rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Immediately after transpose. Okay, so you're treating with a list of integers. Okay, so let's copy this matrix into here. Okay, so in this problem I need to swap rows with columns, meaning that I need to get the 1, okay, so if we have array of integers, right, immediately after the transpose, swap rows and columns. So this is row 1, 2, 3 becomes a column 1, 2, 3. So if we're on this value, it stays. If we go to this value, it becomes. Okay, so we'll say if transpose matrix is a list of lists. Okay, so in transpose matrix we need to, okay, so the number of row equals to the length of matrix, number of column is equal to matrix index of 0. Okay, so number of rows equals number, so that we're getting the number. Okay, so now I can loop over these, right? So I can say for I in the range, or say for R in the range of number of rows, right? And for C in range of the number of columns, right? Okay, so if I want to so the 2 becomes, okay, so on this is 0, 0 for row column, row 0 column 1, row 0 column 2, right? Okay, so we need to make it row 0, 0, row 0, column 0. Okay, so we need to say, so this is R and this is C. So in this guy, this is row 1, column 0. So we basically just need to swap RC. Right, this is row. Okay. Rows. Okay, we'll say so we just need to swap. Okay, so num matrix, so right, so we just need to say matrix index of row column, right? That's the current value we're on. So this is current value. Is equal to this, right? So we're on 1 here. We want to, but the thing is if we, we have to swap in place here. So I don't want to, so this will go, so swap all those values and increase R. Just going to increase, we just put all those values down there and swap them. And then what we do is we update R to +1, which will go down to row 1. No, I don't want to go down to row 1 though, because I've already done operations on their own and I don't want to swap those back. So we just swap indice values, right? So the current value that we're on the 1. What do we want to do? We want to set, okay, so we need a new matrix then. So let's create a new matrix, right? Right, and then let's go is equal to a list where we set we need to create this list, right? So we have number of rows, number of columns. So how can we dynamically, we can create a list dynamically with like 0 times number of row columns. Okay, so can we just create a none let me go like this really quick. Print, let me see, so we can just do like this, we can just say, right, like none times 3. That'll give me 3 none values, right? So then we can also, if that determines the row, So I need like a list comprehension, like none times 3 for val in range 3. Oh, let's go. So let's take this, throw that there. Okay, so that's our matrix. So current value, and then I'm going to say swap value is equal to matrix index of C, index of R, right? And we set new matrix equal to index of R C is equal to the swap value, and then this will be current value of CR. Okay, so that'll do that. Now that'll swap just those outside values, right? Move down to this row, we don't. So then what do we transpose these other values to? The 5 stays. The 9 stays. So this goes R, this goes this current value, we'll swap on itself. So like we can just say right off the bat, if R equal to C, continue. We don't want to swap. We don't even need to do any swap operations. We can just continue. So then how do we increase the columns, or how do we go to the other values though? So we're on 0, 0, 0, 1 here, which swaps this row for this column. Hey Rashab, how's it going? Just books and AI and just a lot of time and effort. Okay, so I'm trying to swap the values. Okay, so we don't have much time, you guys. Find the range of rows for C in the range of number of columns. If they're equal, let's just continue. We're going to do a swap and increase C, and then R will finally increase down to the next row. So that's going to be, what is this? This is 1, 1. This is 1, 2. This is 2, 1. Okay, so then we say, this isn't going to loop through the number of columns. Yes, it is. Hey, Dr. Love. How's it going, dude? like a bug bite. No. Or C in the range of number of columns. If R is equal to C, we're to continue. So then I am at 0, 1. I swap those values into the current matrix. Now at the end of this loop, of this inner loop, right, I'm at number of columns is reached at index of 2. So then I need to make row. We don't want to evaluate on the 4 again. We need to move row in one more. And column in one more. From the start. So if we have this is going to loop over all of those values on the top row because we're going to increase I'm going to skip. No, we want to increase. C is going to increase. Ah, come on, Mike. Zero two 1 1 0 2 0. Zero two 2 1. So we swap the values. But then what do I do to R and C? What do I move them forward? So they're gonna do it automatically though. Once this exhausts. So once the first loop exhausts, R goes to 1. So we want to make C go R to the number of columns. Right? We want to make it start on R. So on start, it's going to go 0 0. Then R goes to 1. And then so we want to start C on 1. And then R goes to 2, so we want to start C on 2. Oh. We're just going to set new matrix R and C is equal to matrix R, C. Yes! Yes! Yeah, I needed that confidence boost. Alright, I solved this one. Or it solved the transpose. Yes! Okay, so in order to make it move diagonally through it, you have to set C to start at R. Right? Okay, so I think there's a leak code called transpose. Let's see. Transpose matrix. Okay, let's write this out again, rather than copying it, right? Okay, so we have a matrix here, we're trying to transpose it, which means we need to move diagonally through or iterate over all the cells but not repeat work. So let's move over cells that we've already done by adjusting our inner loop to not to skip over, start on our values. So let's say we have num rows is equal to the length of the matrix. Num of calls is equal to the length of the matrix index 0. If okay, let's say for r in range of number of rows, right? And then for c in range of r to the number of columns, if r is equal to c, right, we're going to set, so we also need to get our matrix right here. So new matrix is equal to a list, or say right? So we'll get a new matrix the same size as our current one. And then what we'll go ahead and do is say if they're equal to one another, we're going to set new matrix is equal to of index RC is equal to matrix index of RC. Right? Else, and then we'll continue from there. If that doesn't take place, meaning that we're not on the diagonal path, then we are going to swap values. So new matrix index of RC is equal to matrix index of CR, and then we're going to call this again, but new matrix index of CR is equal to matrix index of RC. Now we're going to return new matrix. Let's make sure that is appropriate. Yes. New matrix, gain index error. 203. Why is that given going up to 3? So 2 by 3. Oh, so hold on. If we have a 2 by 3 matrix, we get index error here. Okay, so how can we handle the 2 by 3? So this is our C is going out of error. Matrix index C. Oh, we maybe don't want to make. Oh, let's instead put the number of columns. So we need to make a new matrix that's like the transposed structure, right? So we don't want to make it equal to the other one. We need to make it so this is going to be by number of columns in the range of the number of rows. Right, so we'll do the inverse. I still get the index error here. So let me go ahead and print. Let me take this. Comment this out. Let's print. This is a number of this. By 2. Oh. This will give us a 3 by 2 array. And we get a 2 by 3. Oh. 2 row by 3 column. This is 2 row by 3 column. So we need 3 column by 2 row. Okay. Let's not figure it out. Still get the index error. I've never heard of Coach Tyler before, no. Okay, so in 3 by 2 test case, this is not working, so I want to print a matrix that's transposed. Number of rows. Okay, so if that happens, so let me take this second example here of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alone. Okay, so then we take, we're on 0, 0. Okay, so maybe it's not, we don't use swap values, rather we would just take that whole column, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. We would set it to transposed matrix index of so then we would want like this with 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay, so then we would take, still swapping. Okay, so maybe we don't swap then. Okay, let's just continue on the diagonals, which is fine. The ones where they're equal to one another. 0. Which stays what equals to. Okay, so then we would just say that we want to just say okay, let's do current value is equal to matrix index of R, index of C. We want to take the current value, which is the 2, and move it into matrix, new matrix is equal to new matrix index of CR is equal to the current value. Okay, so we'll say 0, 0 will get hit by this and stay into new matrix. Okay, then the current value will equal to, now that'll move forward, right? So this is 0, 0 at the start. Okay, this gets hit, boom. I moves forward to 1. So we are at 0, 1, which is on this 2 right here. We take that guy and we put it into matrix of 1, new matrix of 1, 0, which is row 1, not row 0, row 1, index 0, the first, okay. And then C goes forward again to 2, takes the 3 and puts it at, instead of 0, 2, where it's at right now, 0, 1, 2 in the 0, right, the 0, 0, 1, 2, it'll go to 2, row 2, 0 there. New matrix C index R. So what's getting hit is the Hey King Hat, how's it going? Hey Long Coco, how's it going? Welcome back in, dude. Okay, so if we're getting an index error here. Why though? So, okay, we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, then I have a filler dummy matrix with 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 1, or 2, 0, 2, 1. So I'm taking this should be that one. So I take the 0 in the first pass, I do the 0 and then moves forward. Now I go to plus and plus. Let me see. I take this portion here into my code here. Okay, so let me go here. This is going to give us the index error. Okay, let's go here and debug here. Column was 1, R0. Column goes to 2. R is still 0. I hit there. Where the number of columns 3. Current values. C goes 1, C goes to 2 here. This guy's looking like, what is the... Oh, but I'm not making a new matrix here. So it should have 3 columns. Yeah, we need to make the column count by number of rows. Why are we skipping the 4 here? Let me see. Alright, we're going to loop over the original number of rows, number of columns. Why are we skipping the 4 here? Oh, it's my debug console, that's why. I want to see why this is skipping 4. R is 0, C1, C2, R is 0, R goes to 1, C is at, oh, C is at 2. I want to do it on R1. C is 2 now, so you're column 2, R1, which is down at the 6. C is 1, which is R. This is the 5. So maybe we do want this to start at number of columns here. One, 0 is on 4. Nice. Okay. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, I was able to get a solution for the transpose matrix. I worked it out with pen and paper, which helped. Excellent job, seriously, using pen and paper with underrated tools. It really shows you care about getting the logic right, not just writing code. You're correctly calculating number of rows and number of columns. You're creating a new transpose matrix, number of columns by number of rows, and now you're filling in swapping RC. That's core transposition. Has a fast path, but that's actually not necessary. It works without that condition too. Oh, so you can just actually put it into your list comprehension. For R and range nodes for C and range columns, matrix RC. Oh, that's a really cool one-liner you can do. Wow. Right, so what you could do is just build this matrix, put this all inside of this with just a list comprehension, basically. Wow, okay, that's a cool way of doing it too. So you say matrix row of column for row in the range of rows, for column for every column in the range of columns. Zero, zero, 0, 1. Won't this just recreate the matrix? Does this not just recreate it? Same order as the original. Because you're pointing out the key to understanding 2D generation transformation. This is a major column iteration. Outer loop goes over the column C. The inner loop goes over the... Swaps rows with columns by iterating columns first. Oh, okay, you iterate columns first, and then rows, because you go back to front. And then, okay, so, got you. Where'd you learn OOP and exception? Hey, Beckham, how's it going? Thanks so much for coming in here. I saw your stream from Period, and I need help learning OP and exception. Which stream are you referring to particularly? Yeah, object-oriented programming was pretty hard at first, just like this kind of LeetCode stuff is. But once I kept thinking about it for about a week, I remember I took about a week time before I watched the next lecture at Harvard CS50P after we learned about classes and object-oriented programming, because I was so confused on what these special methods were, what actually objects were in programming. I was so confused about how real-world objects were represented in code. But then once I started to actually build my own projects, I really gravitated towards object-oriented programming, because it was just easy to represent like it is real-world objects as code, right? You can create kind of packages for representing people, cars, anything really, and then just define some data that associates the various attributes within it. And then you can obviously write these things to like dictionaries, key values for certain things, all that kind of jazz, which is pretty cool. And then it kind of fits in with like JavaScript object notation. So yeah, I highly suggest you take a look at the Harvard CS50P classes lecture, object-oriented programming lecture. And then just honestly, what really helped me was just practicing with it over and over and over again. Try to take, don't try to learn all the special methods in one go. Take your time with them. There's a lot. So I still don't know all of them. I know quite a few though. Okay. So now we need to rotate this matrix. Right? If we're going to rotate this matrix. So if I'm going to rotate a matrix, let's say now I have a matrix that looks like this of 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, right? So if that's the case, how can I need to rotate this 90 degrees so that I have 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4. Okay? So let me mark out my indices here. Zero, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, or 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay. So I need to place if I rotate 90 degrees, okay, so the 0, 0 goes into the 0, 2 place. the 0, 1, the 4 goes into the 1's 2 place. Okay, so you would, obviously you need, so if you have, we need to call def rotate 90, rotate matrix 90. Right, clockwise, given a matrix, right, which is a list of lists. Okay, we're going to do something similar. We're going to get the number of rows is equal to the length of the matrix. The number of columns is equal to the length of matrix index of 0. We're going to create a new matrix, which is equal to a list comprehension, where we can say none values. How many do we want? We want, this would be the number of, none values are the number of columns. We want this by the number of rows. For value in range, number of columns. Yes, good. So now we're going to we just need to rotate this kind of like a lengthwise, right? So we have to use, I think we're gonna have to use our lengths as indices. So let's go for row, for R in range of number of rows, and for column in range number of columns. Okay, so we're on the 0, 0. I need to put that value, so we're going to say current value is equal to matrix index of R, index of C. Okay. Hey, Blitz and Kill. I have an interview tomorrow for a software engineer chemistry position, so I'm practicing and really grinding. You know, I'm really nervous. I don't think, I think I'm ready. I can do the job, but the interview questions are going to be tough, and like, it's, you know, I'm not the best at these leak code style problems, and it's going to be interesting. I got like really nice projects though that I build live on stream from scratch. Like I've got really, like I don't know. Okay, so 0, so this goes, so the 0, 0 will become 0, 2. Okay, so the 0, 0 will become 0, 2. The 0, 1 will become 1, 2. The 1, 0 will become the 0, 1. The 1, 1 will stay at 1, 1. Really? The 2, 0 will become the 0, 0. Okay, so I'm kind of noticing a pattern here. And the 2, 1 will become the 1, 0. So we got the current value. I need to somehow get this value Ooh. Right, I need to somehow set this value within the new matrix at index of 0, 2, which would be the current R and the length and the length no, so the R's don't stay the same. So how can we rotate this matrix 90 degrees? What relationship do all these values have in common? So, what relationship do these values have in common? The 0 becomes 0, 2. The 0, 1, which is the 4, becomes 1, 2. I'm going to go 0, 0, and then take this value, 2. So the 0 and 2. So if I add something to the R, what would I add? So I just need to rotate it. So if I want to rotate this matrix, the 0, 0, which is the ones play, the 1 has to go to 0, 2. Length minus. And then, so the zeros, and then the 0, and then in the next iteration, the 0, 1. You need to reverse. You transpose the matrix. That's not a rotation. That's a mirroring. Why is that a... You're mirroring. the final step of the rotation in total, meaning that you transpose then mirror rows, and that is the 90-degree rotation from the original. Transpose following mirroring rows. Mirroring is a part 2 of the rotation. Okay, so got you. So this will be flip or mirror rows, right? Given the matrix. So let's just do this. We don't even need to create a new matrix. Let's just do for row, or for R in range of number of rows, and then let's say for column in the range of the number of columns, right? We're going to but this is going to be, we'll say start at the number of columns. That's 1. We're going to go the reverse direction. Or let's say, wow, let's say R is equal to okay, so yeah, we're going to loop over every R, every row. And every column. Okay, so for every, let's just say for row in matrix, right, we're going to say for I in range of we'll say no, I is, let's go like this, I is equal to 0, J is equal to number of columns less than 1. Right, we're going to say while I does not, while I is less than J, matrix index I row index I is equal to row index of J. Sorry. Row I, row J equal to row J, row I. Okay, and then we're gonna go I plus equal 1, J less equal 1. Okay, so now this is gonna go through every row in our matrix. So 3, 2, 1. And then take the 0, 1, 2, take the 0 and the 2 and swap them, and then move I and J forward. Oh, they equal each other at 1, so this is not going to run anymore. Move on to the next row. Now we're going to return matrix. Now if I call temp equals to transposed equals to transpose matrix, and then we'll say mirror rows is equal rotated is equal to mirror rows matrix, or sorry, transposed. All right. Yeah, Hall Miniature. I think we got it here. So will this run? So now if I print rotated to the terminal. Yes, I think we got it. Nice, you're almost here. Okay, so it basically says we don't even really need this kind of short circuit here. Because it'll get taken care of no matter what here. So if I add 7, 8, 9 here. 741 852 69963. Perfect. Skip past all that junk. I don't want to see it. Perfect. Okay, so now let's go over to the leak code here. Let's look up rotate. Mahan's going to be proud that we did this one. Hey, Davies. Okay. You have to rotate the image in place. Oh, shoot. In place. So that means we can't transpose and then rotate. So we can't transpose and rotate in that one. This one's rotating. I guess it is a rotate image. You have to do it in place. So you calculate A. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 0, 0. So 0, 1 goes into 0. 0, 2, 0, 2 goes to 2, 2. let's move on to okay, problem 2. Parse CSV. Okay. Let's touch. Let's call it, okay, so let's take our data here. Oh, we're given a list of CSV formatted strings. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay. So actually we don't need this. So let's take data here. Okay, so we need to parse the data into structured rows. So you're given a list of CSV formatted strings. Each string represents a row of data. The first string contains headers. Write a function to parse the data into structured rows, compute and return the average absorbance for a given sample ID. Compute and return average absorbance over time. Oh, okay, so there's multiple A's, B's. Got you. Okay, got you. Okay. Compute the average absorbance for a given sample ID. So we have to go take the sample ID given a certain time. Oh, so time doesn't really matter here. We just want average absorbance. Got you. So we just need all the absorbances of A summed together, divided by the amount of absorbances. Okay. Yes, interview tomorrow. Mooch, interview tomorrow. Oh boy. I'm really nervous, boys. Okay, so data is equal to this. So let's say let's go to the top of our file and import the CSV module so we can call, we can read the CSV out of this dict. So let's call reader. So let's say def parse data. Parse average. Right? Given some data in the form of a list. Type strs. Alright, we're going to return so data sample ID. Okay, return and, or sorry, I'm probably gonna be a float. All right, data sample ID float. Okay. So given the sample ID, so I'm gonna have this function just be kind of temporary. We're just gonna pass here for now. So I'm just gonna do sample ID is equal to quote A, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna call reader is equal to csv.dictReader on the data iterable. Okay. We are then going to call reader is equal to, we're going to list the reader so we can get access to each of its objects here. I mean, we could iterate over the row anyways, right? We could say for row in reader. Right, this is going to give me a dictionary of each row with sample ID. Okay, so let's call filter so let's call is equal to, let's call the filter function, and then let's call a lambda is that how you do that? Yeah, let's call a lambda function, and let's do for so we're going to call filter lambda on a list of dictionaries, right? On an iterable dictionary. So filter, so let me call a list on this. Let me filter I want to set up a custom function to filter based on so I want to filter I'm going to look up the filter function on PyDocs. So if I say data, or sorry, reader, index of quote sample ID dot upper, right? No, I want to get reader absorbance. Right. I want to get the reader absorbance. I want to get the reader absorbance if reader index sample equals to an f string of sample ID dot upper and then we'll give the iterable of reader. Right. So the iterable right is going to be the reader. But why is this? Oh no, we're going to take reader absorbance. No, I'm going to on lambda x this has to be reader. Lambda reader absorbance if reader sample equals to oh no, this has to be x for every x if x is sample on the reader. Why is this giving me an error? I don't get it. X sample. Oh. I don't want to filter out the absorbance, I want to just get the lambda x sample if sample ID upper. Oh no, sample ID. Okay, so you filter the sample, you filter out all of the values, dictionary values. Equal to. Okay, then if I print filtered. filter object for row in. Okay, now I get all the A absorbances. Perfect. So you lambda x, and you put your conditional of what you're wanting to filter, then you put the iterable. What you want, if there is any conditional, okay, so now what we can do is count is equal to 0. We're going to say count plus equal 1. For item, print item, and then we can also say total is equal to, we're going to say item dot get total. So actually I'm going to do this. Get item dot get absorbance. So none. Found. Absorbance equals to this, and then we'll say if not absorbance. So that'll actually, so we have to say if absorbance is equal to none, is none, because zeros will also can evaluate to that conditional. So if absorbance is none, we need to continue. Else, we're going to increase the count by 1, and then we're going to increase total by the absorbance. So then at the end of this, we're going to print out total by count. Okay. Okay, yeah, so it's a type stir right now. So we have to call flip this. We'll probably have to call like a try here. Except for a type error, we're going to print error. Okay, so what we can do here is get rid of sample ID, put this inside of this function, remove all this stuff, and then we're going to return that. Okay, so given a list of nice job. You're clearly thinking like an offensive program, validating input, checking for keys, and guarding against bad data. Let's refine a few things to interview, polish, and bug-free. Great structure. You're using CSV dict reader properly, filtering rows by ID, summing values safely, returning average, absorbance. So just spelling error. No one told me. Abosons. Abosons. Oh, sorry, there's a value error. There's a value error, not a value. Oh, so if it's the wrong type of is instance, probably. You also don't put that. Okay, yeah, only when you're doing inner strings. Nice. Yeah, how's it going, Jaden? How's it going, Tim? Welcome back in, guys. Okay. Sure, we can. Right, filtered. And right, so the minimum time we would filter out like this, and x time is greater than min or equal to minimum time. So now if we would pass in, we call print def or print parse on data for a given min time of 20 or say 30. So say x dot get time and then we'll have to convert this to an int. If it's not there, say 0. I think that does it. Be very close to last memory. Oh. Yes, we do have a bug. Like that. Yeah, so this approach. Yeah, so this approach, so my approach will hit value error if time let's see that the time is bad for calling none. If it's bad or none, did you cleanly the whole function can crash in bed. Okay, so then rather doing this, okay, rather than doing that, let's go ahead and say for item and filtered, time equals to item dot get time. Right? If not time, raise value error. Time, no. No time found for run. So the time equals item.get time none. If not time, we'll raise the value of no time found for this run. If you have time, if time less than the min time, then we're going to continue. So actually, if no time, we'll probably just end up continuing as well. If not time, so then let's do this. Let's put this here. And then let's say if not time or not absorbance. And then we can get rid of this. So then we have to, right, we're getting a time. So we're going to try the following. Float cast time equal to time, right? And then we can catch it with an exception of a type or a value error. We're going to print invalid. Or sorry, not float. Int error invalid time format. Right, there we go. What's my total? So let's just do absorbance is equal to, and then we'll just, things that don't need to be there. In the wise words of Malin, right? We don't need those in the try except, so we don't have to. We're only evaluating this. Great job staying focused, function not very close to being robust, encourage me to do a solid job parsing, one less bug. Execution continues after value exceptions. Okay, so we have to continue after these exceptions. Yeah. Nice. Woo! Sorry I missed your chats, guys. Hey, Decode This, thanks for coming in. Hey, I'm a beginner, can you give advice? Yeah, let me know what you'd like to work on. I can give you guys my advice. Hey, for those that are new, my name's Michael. Thanks so much for joining me here. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. And I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company where I make biological controls. You know, I manipulate matrix arrays to formulate specific concentrations and theoretical yields of specific products, and whatnot, and then evaluate potential stress and shelf life of those products to determine preservability or whatnot. And then so I'm currently actually in the process. I have an interview tomorrow for a software engineer chemistry position for a startup, which will be it's just really interesting. I'm pretty nervous, but I'm just working through code. I can only at this point in time, you guys, I'm probably gonna get off here in 30 minutes and get some a good night's rest and try to get to bed early. But at this point in time, there's not much more I can really try to successfully cram or whatnot before the interview. So hopefully I really kind of have to leave it up to fate at this point. I have to, just trust myself and my Python skills so far and the projects I've built so far, and what I've done in those projects. Opening files, reading the data in there, extracting out information, using, filter and map functions, using lambdas, using our type hints as usual, using try excepts for error handling and whatnot. Thank you guys for the good luck wishes. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys so much. If you guys have any last minute tips, let me know, or last minute things I should look up and study, please let me know. I've been solving, so the interview is for a software engineer chemistry position. I'm going to be asked two questions during the coding portion. I had a screening that I already passed through, and I had a take-home problem that I already passed through. The take-home problem was similar to kind of like this almost, but with a file with a lot of data, like thousands and thousands of rows. And I had to basically do a very similar process of this, and then kind of extract out that information necessary, and then plot it with Matplotlib, right? So tomorrow I might need to do maybe we'll just do a quick refresh of Matplotlib in case we have to graph anything tomorrow live in front of the guy, because that might throw me a curveball if I have to, because sometimes on Matplotlib I do have to go refer to the docs for some of the things, because I know it, but I don't have everything memorized. But yeah, right. Utah State alone, that'd be so clutch. So clutch. Hey, Jaden. Yeah, I've been coding for 1 year. I started teaching myself how to code about a year ago. I have a Discord link down below in the description of the YouTube and in my profile on Twitch, where you can get access to an entire roadmap of my learning journey so far, considering all the books that I've read so far, between Fluent Python, Python Crash Course, Python Machine Learning, data structures and algorithms in Python, and the like, and obviously the CS50 courses. We've taken CS50P and CS50X. I have weekly breakdowns of those courses in the Discord, and then I have right, and so you can join there. But so I'm going to be asked two coding problems in the interview. And the interview notes said that memorization of data structures and algorithms was not required. Right? That's what the interview guy specifically put in his notes for the interview, that the memorization of DSA was not required. So that being said, I wasn't really keen on studying like things like trees or tries or priority queues or things like that. I mean, maybe like stack. Yeah, we know stacks pretty well. We know queues pretty well and stuff, so that's fine. But those more advanced ones, what mainly I think I'm going to be asked something is probably along the lines of this: like, given some data, manipulate it somehow, and return back a result. It probably will look like a similar function to this. Is what I'm guessing. So that's what I've been practicing here. I've been doing, extracting data out of an experiment log, right? So this one I wrote a regular expression. I did this regular expression from memory, right? Which is pretty impressive. I have a pretty good recollection and memory of the regular expression that we learned in CS50P. I don't know why that week just really stuck with me. And I've kind of really been able to remember these kind of codes, like big \W, \big W for non-words, backslash or period, \D, \big D, pause, period, asterisk, period plus, all that kind of, all those kind of things, groupings, ranges of values, with whatever. So we were able to actually write, this one was a little bit harder, but I've been practicing these types of problems like mass analysis, where you sort molecules from a CSV file, pH classification, where you classify based on pH levels of acidity and basic and neutrality, right? And then you count them up, in total. I have, where we visualize and whatnot. / big D pause. Yeah. So we did this one where we transposed a matrix, right? Where we took this matrix and we transposed it, making the rows become columns. So it'd be 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we mirrored the rows to overall complete a 90-degree rotation of this matrix, original matrix, right? So now it becomes 7, 4, 1, 7, 4, 1, 8, 5, 2, 9, 6, 3, left to right. So we did that, What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should study anything else here? Last minute? I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. I think I probably will. I think I'll be too nervous to sit at home and just wait. I think I'm gonna go to work tomorrow and try to get some work done, and then head home on my lunch break and take the interview, because I have to take the interview here. So I'm gonna do it in this exact setup. Be like, hello, how's it going? Let's do a mock interview. Hello, my name's Michael. I appreciate you being here. All right, let's code. I'll share my screen. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. I don't know. I'm pretty nervous though, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I want to get into AI on the channel. We're starting to, like, I want to get into, like, Python machine learning and stuff. I haven't worn a suit for an interview, I don't think, ever. What's customary for an interview, a software engineer? Do you have to wear a suit? I usually, honestly, dude, I just wear what I normally wear, and people kind of are receptive to it. They're like, oh, this guy just is like kind of is himself. Like I'll put on like maybe like a button up, like, but like I won't, like, I just like, yeah, so I kind of just show up with like a kind of just a collared button up that I normally wear, like I'll normally wear, and at least make my hair look nice. But nice, Tim. Dang. I think it just had to be good. And I hope so. What do you guys think? Any last minute things I should, go over? Any last minute things I should touch on here? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 27 minutes. Got an interview tomorrow for a software engineer chemistry position. We've been practicing for the past 3 days nonstop after work for 3 hours after work every day. Multiple leak code problems. I think we've solved probably like more leak code problems this week than we've ever solved in a time period. We've solved probably like 10 or 15 this week alone. And then we solved all of these additional practice problems. So if we were to parse CSV, we're looping over the filtered items. We can get the absorbance, we can just track a minimum. Yeah. I'll probably stream tomorrow. I want to let you guys know how it went. No days off, you guys, even if we fail an interview. Dude, honestly, like, I'm at the point where, like, I'm so nervous to the point where it really just is what it is. And I'm kind of just chalking it up to fate. And that's I'm kind of settling my mind a little bit. Like, I'm just saying, I've been studying every single day. Not for the, I've been teaching myself Python and computer science for a year now, a little over a year. But I've been doing every day study sessions for 9 months, 9 months, right? Straight. I've been studying and streaming. Now, of course, I had some days where I, had to take a break. I went and took a little vacay with my family, or I met my family at a lake or something. But trust me, on those days, you guys, I was reading my books. I was, thinking about the code. I was thinking about my leak code. I was doing some studying on those days. I think about this stuff all day long. I'm kind of my mind just never stops racing. I don't know what it is. It always is thinking of something. That's how I am. So I've been doing this for 8 months straight, and I've done all I can do, right? I've done everything in my current capacity to study. Like, yes, there's some leak codes that I can't solve. There's some mediums that are a little bit too hard for me at the moment. Yeah, that's a little bit discouraging, but it really is what it is. I haven't been programming that long, and I think they're more interested in my chemistry knowledge and my wet lab experience than maybe, and then intertwining that with programming. So, it's not a full stack engineer position. It's not like a data scientist engineer position. It's a chemistry, related, position and whatnot. So, yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. How'd you get past the tutorial? Honestly, the best way I got past that was to never enter it. So I don't watch tutorials. I have never watched, besides like, those videos about like teaching you certain aspects of programming, like object-oriented programming or a file IO. Like I watch Corey Schaefer Python videos all the time. I've rewatched his file IO video and his object-oriented programming video and his regex video like 3 or 4 times, right? So those videos, yeah, but in terms of like where you're recreating what someone else has created and just kind of mirroring them, yeah, might have their benefits, but I didn't do that. I felt that, yeah, it might have helped me. It might have shown me some new things, but I honestly felt like I learned faster and I learned more from error, right? And so I on the channel, I'm completely transparent. If I miss problems, if I have mistakes, it's all live here, and I learn from those mistakes, and I try not to make them again. And I just try. That's just what I keep doing. And so I just learn from my errors. And so what I did is I haven't recreated anyone else's tutorial project or anything. I've created all my own projects from scratch. In terms of AI, the AI does not show me code. If it does show me code, I'll skip past it or stop it early, say, please don't show me that. I prompt it to walk me through it with words, to talk me through it step by step and gauge my understanding. So I treat the AI as if I had like a TA or like a teaching assistant, or it was my professor. The professor would never give you an answer outright. They would help coach you and guide you and engage your understanding to a solution. And so that's the same approach I've been taking because I'm not in college for this. So, but we have a collegiate level resource here at our disposal to use. So it'd be kind of unwise to not. Now, there are, of course, you have to be responsible, and there are times I find myself getting frustrated after I've been on a rabbit hole for a while and whatnot, but for the most part, 98, 99% of the time, I'm writing my own code. I'm not copying and pasting from the AI. I haven't copied like actual code besides like just this data chunk, to paste in here. I haven't done like this and paste it into my thing in like, I can't even remember the last time I've done that because I don't think I've really ever, there's just no value in doing that. Why would I take this, paste it, and then move on? Like, I didn't learn or solve the problem at all. But what you saw what I did to solve this is I wrote a chunk. I got to a point where maybe I was getting something. If I got stuck, I would kind of work through it, and then you have certain kind of not opportunity, like sunk costs, right? Where after a certain amount of time, you kind of, okay, now it's time to raise the flag and go learn about this mistake and whatnot. Okay, let's do like, can you give me, let's do one more plotting problem. Okay, you're given a CSV data set. So let's do a new file here called absorb plot. Okay, let's go. Okay. So given a sample of readings over time, can you give me a new type of problem for? Yeah, we've read some DSA. We've read up to chapter 11 in data structures and algorithms in Python, live on the channel. Plot reaction rate curve. Prompt: you're running an enzyme kinetic experiment to study the rate of reaction at different substrate concentrations. You're given a set of readings where each row contains a substrate concentration and a reaction rate. Write a function to parse the input data, plot the reaction rate versus substrate concentration, and fit a curve on the data. Nonlinear regression. Okay, so bonus requirements, interview extras. Here's the data for the curve. Okay, so let's take our CSV file here. I'm gonna rename this to, what's this called? Reaction rate. Okay, so let's def a main function here, and then we'll pass for now. And then let's def a parse function, parse CSV, given a path, which is going to be a stir. We're going to return a list of dictionaries. Okay, we're going to come up to the top of our file and import the CSV module. Okay, I'm going to come down to my bottom of my file and say if dunder name is equal to quote unquote dunder main, we're going to run main. Okay, so what we're going to do in our parse CSV is we're going to say with open the path in read mode. And we're going to set new lines to just a blank string as file CSV. Right? We can go ahead and open this file and get access to using the CSV dict reader. So reader is equal to csv.dictReader. This will align every row as an individual object associated with keys as the column headers. We can call on the iterable of the file itself, CSV file, I think is what we called it, right? Yeah. Cool. There is no delimiter, so you can also apply a delimiter to here for a tab separated, such as, right, delimiter equals to, but this is comma separated, so we're okay. We're going to return if reader return list reader. So then we're going to return, we'll raise a value error indicating that error data file empty. Data path equals, we'll apply an f string here of path file empty. I'll say file empty and give the path equals to that. Okay. So we're gonna open the file, we're gonna read it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this in a try, right? So, and then we're gonna put an except here for a file not found error, right? We're going to raise a, we're going to raise a custom value error, I guess, saying like error file does not exist, right? Okay. Sorry. Is AR learning with coding good? Will it get me further? Yeah, roadmap in the Discord down below. Yeah, we're coding every single day and just learning. Using, AI can be a great, ChatGPT is a great TA. I treat it as I would a college TA or professor assistant. Right? I don't ask for code. Talk in words. Use your words to talk through it. Give it long prompts to explain your thinking and your reasoning and your justifications, and say, don't show me code, but let's talk through this. Okay, so we're gonna with open, except for file, so we're gonna return list reader. Okay, that'll do it. So now if we call, let me say, path is equal to quote data.csv, right? And then I call parse CSV, or sorry, read CSV, load CSV on path. And then we call this to load, right? So now let's see if we get this. File does not exist on this path, data CSV. Oh, because I'm not in here, so let me go to my reaction rate. Open integrated terminal. Now if we run that. CD reaction rate. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're getting the path now. Okay, we're loading the CSV, and we're going to return object list. Right? So then we're going to call, right, we load the CSV, and we need to parse the input. So our CSV looks like this, where we have a reaction rate given here. Plot the reaction rate versus substrate concentration. Okay, got you. Okay, so we'll do this. Def parse data given a list of dictionaries. Sorry, given a data. List of dictionaries. We're going to return here a dictionary. Okay, so I'm going to return a dictionary here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the object list. So if object list, right, we're going to say for object in object list, we're going to go object.get. So this will be concentration is equal to object.get quote substrate concentration, else we'll return none. Okay, we're going to copy this down, and this will be rate, and this is going to be reaction rate, right? If concentration and rate, right, we're going to, let's create a values array, or a dictionary, sorry, where inside we're going to have X, and we're going to have Y, right? And so these are going to be empty arrays. Okay, and so then we're going to, if concentration and rate, we're going to go X, or values, quote, X dot append, we're going to append the substrate concentration of concentration. We're going to do this for Y for the rate right here. Else print invalid error valid. So that I'm going to append though I'm going to try concentration equals to float concentration, or rate, float rate, right, except if we get a value error as E, print E, and then let's continue. We'll say, yeah. So we'll append concentration and rate, else invalid. Hey Major, how's it going? Umar, your caps lock is on, my guy. Okay, so we have parse data here. We get these, we convert them to floats, and we append them to values here. Yeah, we've read up to 11 chapters in DSA and Python. It's in my Discord. You've asked that question like 5 times now. It's all right. Okay. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Okay, so then we say, so we append those values. If concentration, else you print invalid error, invalid data type, and then continue, right? So this would give you, and then at the end of this list, end of this for loop, we're going to return the values here. Else we're going to raise the value error. So I'll say if not object list, we're going to raise a value error. No objects to parse. Okay, else we're going to go into this. For object and object list, we get a concentration and rate. If the concentration and rate, we're going to try to cast them to float. And continue if we can't, and return the values that we found, okay? So now we're going to def, so let's call parse data on object list. And I'm going to say this is going to be values is equal to this, okay? So we're going to call def plot values given a values dictionary. We're going to return none. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to import matplotlib.pyplot as plot. Right? And then we're going to say if not values, raise a value error for error no values. If not values, key of x raise. So we'll say how x values, we'll do this actually. X values is equals to values.get. Well, you're always going to have values, keys in there, right? So I guess let's type check it first. If not is instance of values and type it dict, we're going to raise a type error saying value error values not of type equal dict. So if we have a value, if we have values, so we'll say if not values, so it'll look like this actually. Now we know it's a dict, we can go x values is equal to the values dot get the x, else none. We'll do this for the y as well. And then we'll say if not x values or y values, we're going to raise a value error and say error no data to plot. Okay. Now we have x and y values. We're float casting them already. So what we'll do is we'll call plot dot plot. We will plot it's called plot dot scatter. And we'll put in x values and y values. Okay, and then we can call plot dot, let's just call plot dot show and see if we're getting them. So let's call plot values on values. No data to parse. Hey Douglas, how's it going? Welcome back in, dude. Error, no values. Oh, so if concentration. Okay, so we're getting invalid data types for all of them. No objects to parse for object and object list concentration. Let's say print object list. Okay. Huh. Substrate concentration, reaction rate. Oh. It shouldn't be strings. It's a CSV. Our data wasn't organized appropriately. There we go. Great. no data to plot. Substrate concentration, reaction rate, object.get. Okay, we're getting them. If concentration okay, values out append x and y. So let me go down here and print. Let me come here. Values. Not getting any y data. We're just practicing problems right now. So we're not building a project, so no need for a virtual environment right now. We're just doing practice problems for an interview tomorrow. Okay, so we're not getting any y values here. Why? Well, it's not even. Why are we getting, oh, we are getting y values. Y values, okay, so now let me go here, let me print here, x values. Let me delete this. So then why is my plot not showing? If not x values or y values? Oh, because they're empty. Oh, I got you. So, if you guys remember, empty lists are also Boolean to false. So, we have to specify specifically none here. So, our functions were correct, except this one line here. There we go. Nice. Hey, Rashab. Thanks for joining me here. My name is Michael. I'm 26 years old. I got a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I've been teaching myself how to code for a little over a year now. We've learned a lot. We've pretty much gained a pretty good fluency, intermediate level fluency in Python, starting to develop a mastery in Python. With more hours, obviously you need a lot more hours to develop a mastery in it and more things to learn about. But we know a lot about Python, a lot about the basics and intermediate levels of Python. We're able to kind of fluently write in Python and use a lot of some of the packages it comes with, which is pretty cool. I've been teaching myself for a little over a year. I started with Harvard CS50P. I took that course over the summer of last year, and then I read the Python crash course, which solidified that knowledge even further. All of the resources I've used are in the description of my video in the Discord, completely for free. I haven't paid a single dollar. Not $1 has been spent on my programming learning. Every resource I use is free and online. And so I've been teaching myself religiously every single day. So after I completed the course, I started reading Python Crash Course live on the stream. And then I started streaming every single day, where we jumped into data structures and algorithms in Python, started doing leak code, building personal projects such as our, we have some projects here called SpectroSim. So this is my full stack site that I launched. So you can go in here, you can search up compound names. So it's free hosted via render.com, so please allow for server spin up. I have that note here, so it does take a little bit of time to actually spin up the server. But you can also go to ChromaPlot, which is another full stack site I have. This one, so render.com is just notoriously slow. So I might need to switch platforms here because recruiters are going to get bored waiting for my apps to load. See, this isn't even served back my request yet. See, it's not even my algorithm. My algorithms are really fast for doing this and my stuff, but because I'm caching results and whatnot. But the server has a spin up time, which is, see, there it goes. So now if I search up like caffeine, you get it pretty quickly here. There it is. And then so you get caffeine. Caffeine up here is odorless white powder, white glistening needles, yada yada yada. You have some various information here regarding its lambda max, epsilon max, and then its compound ID from the PubChem API that we're getting. Then you can press this button to generate the absorption here. So we're using Plotly.js on the front end to generate these plot objects, and it's loading in that response data that we parsed and selected out and cached into this plot. And then you can actually download them and whatnot. So then you can look up like benzoic acid is another compound that's on PubChem. You can look up, there it is. You can generate this plot. Salicylic acid, you can generate that plot. Generate, there it is. Hey Anand, how's it going, man? You can look up like, let's see, Humarin. So it's really nice. It's a pretty cool project. So it's a full stack site that you can do stuff on. So then this is ChromaPlot. ChromaPlot is pretty cool. It's a way that you can visualize and simulate chromatography. This was absorption spectroscopy. This one is chromatography, where you can put in compound names, right, just as fillers, and then put in retention factors between 0 and 1. Right, and then you can run this simulation and generate a plot. So this is also on render.com, so it's pretty slow. I'm just using a free tier of render.com to host my projects, so the actual live runs are pretty slow, which is unfortunate because render.com is kind of bottlenecking us, and if any recruiters try to use our sites, they're going to get hit with this as well, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, so we'll wait for this plot to load here. Hopefully it'll load up in just a second. Contributing to Stalker. Yeah, so we'll get back into the Wackathon project. So we're hosting a community project on the site called the Wackathon. We're currently building an app called Stalker, which is basically like a stock viewing dashboard that you can load in and manually populate, individual accounts across your various portfolio to kind of have an overall dashboard for a net worth indication, which is pretty cool. A bit more manual. Yeah, honestly, Latku, I'm open for suggestions on platforms to use. So on my SpectroSim, the front end is hosted on Vercel, so I'm not sure if we can host the back end there too. I'm not like I'm no full stack dev. I'm still learning a lot more about full stack stuff, but I've got a couple projects where we're able to actually get stuff on the full stack and route it and everything and link up the domain names and get it really nicely using React, Tailwind, JavaScript, and Python Fast API. Yeah, so the Wackathon project, after my interview tomorrow, and once I get some more information on this potential job opportunity, we'll go ahead and kick back again doing the Wackathon. I've been studying nonstop every day after work for 3 hours plus grinding practice problems and whatnot. right? So chromoplast, right? As you can see, these compounds, they have this kind of clumping effect, and you can see that these travel at various rates according to their retention factors, where higher numbers travel at faster rates compared to a solvent at 100%. So speed. So it's pretty cool where they pop up and they start to traverse the plane here, simulating a paper chromatography, which is pretty cool. Nice. So those are our two main big projects. We also have the small business manager, which was another big project, but that one's just a Python local project that you have to install with GitHub. Okay, so then let's call let's call some customizations here. So let's call plot dot title, and we'll call this substrate concentration versus reaction rate. This is in U moles per minute, and then this is in, oh, so we'll just do that. Okay, so we'll do plot dot x label plot.x label will be reaction. No, this is substrate concentration. And then this is reaction rate for y label. Right, and then we call y here, and so we'll give units, and this is in millimolars, and this is in U moles per minute. Okay, so if we run that, okay, now we get substrate concentration versus reaction rate. Nice. So let's go ahead and let's call plot dot x ticks x values. Dot y ticks y values. Okay, so those are really clumped. So we'll actually say this is going to be range. We'll just say list range, right? We can do that. So if we say x ticks, so this skips every other one. How could I say okay, so if we call just list range of 10 by default, that'll show every value on the X. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, anything else we want to add to the plot? Hey Tanmay, any thoughts on doing machine learning projects? Yeah, so I have Python machine learning here that I started to read. It's just, honestly, you guys, the math is pretty difficult. So I was starting to dive deeper into calculus, but it's kind of fizzled out as I've been doing job hunting and stuff and projects. So, yeah. What kind of work would you be doing at the new programming job? Yeah, so tomorrow I have an interview for a software engineer chemistry position, so fingers crossed. The door is open to make the transition here into tech. So I'm really trying to seize this opportunity given here and perform well during my coding interview tomorrow. I've already passed a screening and a take-home problem, so a pretty lengthy process here. But they are a type of like scientific software company where they build kind of custom tools to automate lab processes, laboratory information systems, LIMS systems, all these types of different, general laboratory biotech kind of software-based systems. So it's definitely something that I think I could contribute to and be a part of and perform well in. And I think I'd be writing like scripts for like managing and handling certain like plotting and various endpoints. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. Hey Preston, how's it going, dude? The cold start at Lambda is only half a second. Oh, we might need to hop on that then. The difference between set, list, and tuple? Well, set is all unique values where order doesn't matter. List can have duplicate values where order is, fixed. And then tuple, the tuple. So the tuple is just just pairs of values. Now, the tuple you can't index into. I don't believe. Tuple. So what exactly makes tuple different? Right, set is non-duplicates. List can contain duplicates and order is fixed. Set order doesn't matter. So a tuple, order does matter in a tuple. I know that. Because you can unpack tuples. Tuple. Tuple. Oh, immutable. Got you. That's right. Tuples are immutable. That's the property. So you can't mutate the array. You can't like index into and swap out values. That's the difference. Yeah, that's right. Hey, what should I add to this? Oh, you're doing your Scratch project? What is it? What is it? What's going on? Oh. Nice, dude. Dang, yeah, nice. Looks cool. It looks good. Is this your Harvard CS50X project? Yeah, so tuples you can't mute, right? We can iterate over tuples though, I believe, right? But you can't just change the index. Yeah. You just can't change the index, right? I don't use tuples all that often, but when I do, we do. All right. So plot. Okay, so then there's one more piece to this problem. Fits this. So the V max by S. Fits Michael. Use scriptpi.optimize.curveFit. What? Okay, so I'm going to give it my problem here. You've done a fantastic job setting up a real-world data visualization pipeline. Your structure is modular, clean, and ready to scale. Here's what you're doing right, and you can take it to the next level. Load CSV error handling reader, parse data safely with type checks and get, plot value, scatter plot with proper labeling. Main function is well-structured following Python script pattern. Suggestions for enhancements. So you use this scriptpi import. I've never done this is SciPy optimize. Import curveFit. So you update this block. So you would put a curveFit. Returns back. Interesting. I've never used this before, this curveFit thing, so I'm not sure what it is. Yeah. Tuples O of 1, and so is sets and dictionaries. Yeah. Yeah, strings you can't swap index values either. You can iterate over strings, right? Lots of good stuff. You guys know your stuff. Look at you guys. You guys been reading Python Crash Course, like I've been suggesting. Okay. Cool, we were able to plot that. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna call it here. 10 o'clock is gonna be my cutoff. It is what it is. We have a disagreement. Tuple O of 1. Let's look it up. Is tuple O of 1 access? Yes. Just like lists. No, but lists don't have O of 1 access. Oh, access it with index, yeah. But you can say, but searching for an item in tuples O of n. Yeah, so you can have by reference of index, it's constant, but it still iterates over from start to finish in a tuple. So order matters then. Yeah, order does matter in a tuple. Good refreshers, good refreshers. Brandon, you probably meant by index access. If you say if item in tuple, then that's O of n. If you say tuple index of I, right, that would be O of 1 access. Direct reference inside the tuple versus iterative access over all elements. Does that make sense? You can unpack them, right? So in Python, you can unpack them into their individual values. Just like that's a cool property of tuples. Yeah, so I think that's one of the big things. And then you can create generator functions, generators with just tuple, right? And you can't change, right? So they're like a list, but you can't change the values. They're just a permanent list. These are good refreshers. Yeah, so if you have a comma after a value, it'd be a tuple. Yeah. So that's how you would create a tuple with a single value. So you'd be like, hold on. They talk about that in Fluent Python down here. There's a big section on tuples and dictionaries and all the advanced stuff you can do with them. Right, so if you go like A is equal to 1 comma, and then you call print on A, it'll create a tuple. So you have to indicate a single value of the tuple. You put a trailing comma to show that it's a tuple, right? You could also indicate it like, I think like this, right? This will also give you a tuple. You could just specify specifically what it looks like. All right, you guys. It's 10 o'clock. I'm going to go to bed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys truly so much for being here. This marks a pretty big milestone in the channel. We were able to, after a year of studying almost every single day, 8 months of studying every single day, basically, we have successfully, opened the door to potentially transition and make our title become a software engineer chemist rather than just a chemist. So I have the opportunity tomorrow through an interview. So wish me luck, you guys. Please send me good energy, and in the universe, just think of the universe and send me your positive energy. I really need it. I've been really struggling, honestly, to stay focused in terms of just my nerves, handling my cortisol levels. Like I can feel, as a human biologist, I can feel my cortisol levels just surging through the roof, like in just stress, and like it's affecting my memory, it's affecting my focus. It's really starting. It's like, so I'm probably gonna get like a real sigh of relief tomorrow after it's done, no matter what the decision is. But obviously, I think I'm so nervous because I really want it. Like I really think I could do well, and I really want to show them I could do well in that position. But it's just I have to get through. Yeah. I have to get through the interview. So if you guys have any last minute tips for me, we've been doing some base, leak code problems, two-sum, palindrome, all that kind of jazz. Like we've been practicing those. We've been practicing even into the mediums, getting some more mediums practice. We did matrix manipulation today. We did a problem for actually rotating a matrix 90 degrees by transposing it and then mirroring it. So we were able to work through that, which was really nice. And then we also did just a ton of these types of practice problems where we got data, we parsed the data, we filtered it somehow, and then we either plot it or return back a new configured data set or something with tons of these. This was kind of similar to my this problem we did here, this reaction rate problem. This was pretty similar to my take-home assignment that I was given, but the CSV I was given was tab separated, and it was huge. It was like 20,000 lines, and I had to extract out some certain points. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Please leave a like on the stream. We'll hopefully after tomorrow we'll be on the road to software engineer. Here's the most basic tip: drive the interview, communicate your thoughts, use a tool like Excalidraw to show them your visualizations and stuff. It'll all be good. Yeah, so I plan on as soon as I get shown the problem, I plan on immediately popping open, no, not ChatGPT, the whiteboard, right? And like walking through and drawing out some stuff for him to see, yada yada yada, and then kind of working through the problem. I need to remember that to ask questions, like to clarify. I can communicate with him to, work through the problem. I can, do a lot of different things. Have you thought about applying to companies you don't really care about? Yeah, that'd be the right way to go about it. But honestly, it seems like getting the interview is the hardest part nowadays. You have to get past the screener. The AI screener or the recruiter. So honestly, like I think I'm so nervous and I'm so passionate about this because I don't know, given the current market and the current environment, when the next time an opportunity will arise like this. Like it's kind of crazy that we only were sending out applications for a week and already got this bite, right? But I'm just, part of me is like, yeah, like 300 applications, 15 callbacks. Like it'd be great to get practice on some like dummy interviews, right? But you can't even get dummy interviews. Like you can't even get through the door. So that's why I think I'm putting so much pressure on this, because I'm like, I don't know when another opportunity might arise. I have to seize this one. I have to do well. And it is what it is. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm nervous. I gotta go though. It's 10 o'clock. I gotta go to bed. Any last thoughts? Last thoughts, you guys. Last thoughts. Before we call it here. Yeah. Just gotta not stress. Hey, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Rise. Thank you, dude. Do you have questions prepared for the interviewer? Well, it's it's a coding interview, so like what questions should I ask regarding like his experiences as a software engineer at the company? I think it's mainly just tailored to the completion of the problems, basically. I'm not sure. OOP and exceptions. Just practice creating simple objects, starting from like a simple task tracker, having task objects to, the Python crash course is really good practice. Using AI to give you practice problems for creating classes, all that kind of jazz. Harvard CS50P has a week on classes, which is really helpful. And then a lot of YouTube videos are really great. All right, you guys. Please message me in the Discord, link down below, if you have any last minute thoughts you would like to tell me, things I should know regarding your experiences as interviewing and whatnot. I mean, I've never done it before, so I've never done it before. So if anything, it's gonna be a learning experience. I'll know what kind of questions maybe to focus on next time. And yeah, I mean, I can't beat myself up too bad if we don't get it on the first go, right? It would be awesome to get it on the first go, but you can't beat yourself up too bad. Don't hesitate to ask for help too. If you have a good interviewer, he or she wouldn't mind giving you hints and guiding you. Main thing is to not be afraid to ask the interview questions on implementation. Implementation details. As long as you explain your process, you're doing solid. Okay, so the interviewer isn't there as just a judgment angel. Like, they are there to provide you assistance if like need be. Like if you're like, because obviously like on the job, like you're allowed to reference docs. Like programming, you reference docs all the time. Like, so okay, so just if I get stuck or I want clarifying questions, just communicate, like work the problem with the interviewer. Work it with the interviewer, guide him through it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's okay. One last thing for me, you're also judging the interviewer. If you feel like they are not a pleasant personality, you can imagine the work culture they're people to work with. That's a good idea too, right? If there's someone you wouldn't want to work with, then that might be a red flag. Okay, you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight and encouraging me. Many more, hopefully, interviews to come as we keep going on this road to software engineer. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Join my Discord and chat with me there. Send me messages if you have any last minute tips, and I'll see you tomorrow.